There you go. You do that like that. Oh, I like that. Oh, it's really good. Good morning, everybody. Just setting up my stream. I am live. Okay. How you guys doing today? We're at day 10 on Proverbs 3:19 to 20. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the two verses. Let me go ahead and read this. Hope everybody's having a good morning. Those of you who wake up, totally great. It's a little bit later than I would usually do it. Slept in just a little bit. But I am on vacation, so that's the way it is. But it's day 10 of Proverbs 3:19 to 20. And there it goes. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open and the clouds dropped down the dew. Let's read that again. The Lord by wisdom founded the earth. By understanding he established the heavens. By his knowledge the deeps broke open and the clouds dropped down the dew. All right, so let's go this verse by verse, word by word. Again, this idea of wisdom. It's a theme that happens in Proverbs all the time. Wisdom is going to be throughout. And by the Lord by wisdom founded the earth. I'll put that in green. Founded the earth and the heavens. By understanding he established the heavens. The verse 19 is pretty interesting because it reminds me of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And what's interesting about the wisdom, adding in wisdom, is that it feels like wisdom is just not this idea of do this, do that, advice for life and how to live and all that kind of stuff. It's actually connecting this idea of creation, that God created the heaven and the earth, and they're connecting wisdom to that. That wisdom is a part of creation, part of everything, and which is interesting because if we look at, you want to do some thoughts and ideas about the universe. The general thought is that out of chaos, the universe was created, if you want to do that, like some big bang that happened randomly. There's this chaos, and from this chaos, something happened. And one of the things about being a believer or believing in what God is capable of doing is that he created, is what I believe, that he created things by design. There is a specific design God had in place. And if we go back to Genesis, we could see that God created man to go ahead and take care of his garden. Okay. We failed by eating the tree of the knowledge of good and evil and stuff like that. But there was a design in place that he wanted to create something in his image, man in his image, to worship him, to work the garden and be on earth and stuff like that. But when sin happened, that created a different path for how man goes ahead and serves God and worships him and stuff like that. We could go to the Great Commandment and just say, love your Great Commandment. There's two of them: Great Commandment, Great Commission. Great Commandment is love your neighbor, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. And the Great Commission is make disciples. If I want to use it really, so that is God's design for us, like after we have accepted him as the Lord and Savior and all that kind of stuff, and saved and are sanctified, saved through grace and forgiven and all that kind of stuff. But when we're actually doing the work of God, it has to do with loving others, loving him, and making disciples. That's the basic design that God had for us. Those are non-negotiables and everything. And which is interesting is that this design aspect of God, the characteristic of being the great designer. The potter is another way in which they're using connecting that design aspect into this idea of wisdom. Like wisdom is a part of God's design that we are to continuously be in that part of God of finding and searching for His wisdom. Also, although personified as a woman, um, God, something separate, not separate from God, but God's wisdom is personified as a woman. Anyways, this idea of wisdom, if you are seeking it and you are actively looking for it and doing it, then you are joining God in His creation, the reality of this world, which was created by God. And wisdom was also created, and so we need to join that and do that. That's verse 19. Jesus, that's only one, which is interesting because this is kind of departs from what we've been learning for the past 9 days of Proverbs about what to do, how to do. Wisdom is this, wisdom is that. Go seek it out. Don't turn away from it. These things will happen to you if you don't follow wisdom, all those kind of things. But right here it says, it's reminding us where wisdom comes from, and that it's a part of the very creation that God had put on this earth. And by design, we are to follow wisdom, and we're joining Him in that. Okay. In verse 20, by His knowledge, okay, that in yellow, knowledge, part of wisdom. The deeps broke open and the clouds drop down the dew. Deep broke open. I kind of see this as like rain in the deeps. If you remember from Genesis again. Wait, not Genesis. Was Genesis with this one? He talked about the deeps, the waters, and all that kind of stuff. We also see the deeps. I'm going to finish this. I have to finish my talk. Okay, we'll see. And so my son's waiting for me to do some gaming. But the knowledge of the deeps has to do with that related to Genesis, especially when Moses, wait, wasn't Moses, Noah. When Noah came around, the deeps kind of exploded and the heavens kind of dropped and all that kind of stuff. So that was kind of that. And one of the things about this idea of the deeps broke open has to do with the society that's in right now. One of the things about Israel is that it's a very agrarian society where farming was really important. And actually, if you ever been there, I never been there, but from what I've seen was that it's a pretty dry area, and so rain is very important. And I feel like this idea of drop is that God's providing day by day. Through His knowledge, He's providing day by day. This kind of like dichotomy of this wisdom, and He's providing. I don't know. Maybe I haven't thought about it too much, but I do know that if I want to relate this, if you're following the wisdom and through His knowledge, He is providing for you the rain that needs to sustain your life, kind of like. And so kind of reminding that of everyone here that that as the great creator and the design that you have. Anyways, that's what I have to say about Proverbs 3:19 and 20. This whole idea of connecting with God's creation through following His wisdom. So are you following and seeking wisdom from God? If you are, then you are joining with Him in the very creation and the design that He had for you. So just a little tidbit for the morning. I hope you're having a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.